Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning into this next episode of the
Mobility
Mobility
Bros!
Bros. How you guys doing? My name is Coach Cliff. It is an honor to have you tune in and watch us every week. And I am here, of course, with the stellar energy, with the man of the hour, Ron Hylton.
What's up, people? Whoop, whoop, whoop.
And we have an amazing, outstanding human being today who is our special guest. We are honored to have Wendy Hyatt. How are you, Wendy?
I'm great, guys. How are you?
So
We are
good. So good to
so
have you. Thanks for being on our show today.
Oh my gosh, thank you for asking.
we are so grateful to have you on our show. Your resume is stacked. You have done so much in the industry of wellness, and we're just excited to learn your concept because we talk about the mindsets of practitioners, and we always love to dig a little deeper into your concept, your passion, the why that what got you into this industry out of everything that's out here in the world, and listen to the magic that you continue to create in your industry with the people you touch. So we're really excited to talk to you today. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh, thank you. This is it's really humbling because I feel like I just move through life and interact with people. I don't like it doesn't feel like magic. Sometimes it does, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Let me just give a little background about Wendy. She's a PA. She has a bachelor's degree from Boston University in exercise physiology, bachelor's degree from Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Science, and master's degree from MCPHS in physical physician's assistant studies. Her spouse has been he's a gastroenterologist. She has two children, Ethan and Julia, 13 and 10. Hobbies, activities, interests: professional fitness competitor, traveling photographer, networking, personal development. This woman's an amazing competitor, bodybuilding competitor. Began competing in May 2015 with INBF as a novice competitor, turned pro in June 2016, won the WNBF Pro Masters Bikini World Champion title 3 times, and has appeared on stage 19 times. Her burning desire is to retire her husband by 2029, travel more with family and friends. Sometimes something no one knows about Wendy is she's certifying to be a life coach in 2 weeks time. And keys to success: practice, gratitude, and finding daily life lessons. Absolutely amazing, Wendy.
Outstanding.
Outstanding. So I actually want to kick off, like, what got you into the fitness industry and into bodybuilding? Like, what propelled you into that? I know you have a background in exercise physiology, but what made you go more deeper into that?
Wow, that's a great question, Ron. Because in my culture, I'm Chinese, and it is very, let's say, conservative. So we don't talk a lot about bodies. We don't talk about relationships that much. So that was really foreign to me. I was very self-conscious in and uncomfortable in my own skin. And when I had kids, that probably amplified because it was like, oh my gosh, my body isn't the way it used to be. And people would say, oh, Wendy, didn't anyone tell you once you have kids, your body's never the same? And I was like, come on, no. Refund. I'm like, I didn't know about that. So then I fell back on the things that I learned in school. So going to the gym, doing cardio, doing ab work, and I found that none of it was working for me. And I was like, wow, this is unsettling, but I guess they're right. Maybe this is just it. This is just the way it's going to be. Side note, though, that phrase just gets me so cringy. I'm like so mad. I'm like, this is not the way it's gonna has to be.
Yes, I love that.
Never. never settle.
Yes.
So then I started searching for different ways. I was trying different diets, and I went vegetarian, and I felt like I lost the weight that I wanted to lose, but then I was also losing weight I didn't want to lose, like muscle mass. And that was scary to me. So I almost went back to eating meat at the time. But then I came across our amazing nutrition that how Ron and I met. And I was like, oh my gosh, after like I was counting protein like the way people count calories. I was obsessive about it and spending so much mental energy during the day trying to figure out where is my next protein going to be? How much is it? It was just like constant calculation. And I didn't realize how stressful that was on me until I stopped having to do it. So once I incorporated this amazing nutrition into my body, I was already doubling my protein intake without even thinking about it.
Awesome.
And 4 days in, I started noticing more lean muscle mass, and I wasn't even working out. I gave up on working out. And I was like, oh my gosh. Everything that I learned in school was like nothing. Like they were missing the boat. It's all about quality of the nutrition that we're putting into our bodies. And like, it doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to be as hard as I was making it. And I was like, well, shoot, I look better now after having 2 kids than I did when I was in high school and college working out 3 to 5 times a week. And I'm like, what's going to get me back into the gym? I don't know. And so I went to a conference and I saw all these amazing hot bodies walk across the stage. And I was like, I've never seen that before in my life, let alone like so many bodies. And I was like, if all those people are consuming this nutrition, I'm not going to do what they're doing, but I would never go up on stage like that, but I will continue consuming this food. And then I saw a mom friend go and do her first competition. And I was like, whoa, she's crazy, but she looks amazing. Then I saw another mom friend do it. And I was like, wow. I'm like, come on. I'm like, if they could do it, what about me? And I was like, I'm not going to tell anybody because that's just way outside my comfort zone. But I did it on the DL. The first time I did, I was like, I'm just going to do it to see if I can do it. If I can just get back into the gym. And I half-assed it. I was like probably the worst client. Like, I'm like, I got the food thing. Just give me the workouts because I got PTSD from the gym. So I did it. And like I came in 5th in the novice category. I was like, I'm just doing it just to do it, for the pictures afterwards and for the t-shirt, right? So, but then after I did it, I was like, oh, I know how I could have done better like the next time, even though it was just going to be a one-time deal. But
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So yeah, 19 times later, I'm still here.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, what a fantastic, just quick snip of your life journey. I mean, there was so much there, right? There was the culture aspect of it, where you're from and the way it's viewed for, Asian women to put on muscle and to, work on their figure. And I have clients that has expressed that to me about their culture and that they, were nervous about those things. And I think the biggest energy that you shared was like, never settle, and it sounds like that's your story through it all. You pushed through and you found a way. And even when you got on stage that first time, you didn't settle for, all right, I did it. I know my mom friends did it. That finally motivated me to try it. And I kind of snuck on there like Batman, no one knows who I am, where I'm at. But once you got bit by that bug, it's like it didn't let you go. So that's fantastic. You said you had 2 beautiful kids. Congratulations to you and your 2 kids as well. What's the holidays like for you? Just for fun energy, what's the holidays like for you around this time?
So, so the holidays, my husband is Jewish, so we celebrate both holidays, Hanukkah and Christmas. And oh my gosh.
Happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah started yesterday, right?
Yes. Hanukkah usually comes before Christmas. And by the time Christmas comes along, I'm like, I'm so done with gifts. Like, Can we just stop?
Tap out, tap out.
Like, we have enough Legos, we have enough stuffies. I don't know, there's no room for more, but yet we always include more.
Yeah, and you also mentioned you're a vegan or vegetarian.
I was.
So
Yeah.
what was holiday food like for you?
So my husband's also gluten-free. He has celiac, so vegetarian gluten-free meals that were high in protein were really hard to come by.
I can imagine.
So now I eat chicken, I eat poultry and fish and meat occasionally, so it's more varied.
Wow, that's really interesting. I always am interested in seeing like where people are when it comes to that, because you mentioned 19 times on stages, so you've obviously mastered the nutrition with the amazing nutrition Ron's using, you're using, I'm using that amazing nutrition, so we're all on the same page with the quality that you mentioned of nutrition is key. But the training aspect and the kids in your life and the husband with celiac, how did you manage to stay focused, to keep competing, and juggle everything? How'd you find the time?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like spouses or significant others need to also agree to competition life. It's not just the athlete.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, yeah, Ron. It's a lot of demand. There are a lot of times where it is a lot of sacrifice. You have to make that decision, and not everyone can feel good about it. It does put pressure on a relationship. Zero carb days are not great. My husband's always like, kids, behave because mommy's doesn't have any carbs today. I'm like, oh, it's that bad, huh? I'm like,
That's so real though. Oh my gosh, I feel that.
I get zero carbs today. Good luck to you guys. No, but there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into it, and most of the prep life is not pretty. I would say 90% of it is not pretty. It's just the end 10% where it's like all the glamour and the glitz. Ron, you don't get the glitter, you don't get the hair and makeup and nails stuff.
No,
but
no, I don't. I don't. Actually, I want to add to that. So it's interesting being on stage, and this is the difference between men and women. It's like women in my last competition, there was literally a row of females, a row of stylists, a row of like everybody, row of makeup artists. For guys, we just put shorts on.
Yeah.
So the prep and everything you go through, even as far as even like the outfits, right? I only paid what, $40 for my shorts.
I was right. I guessed $40. Oh my gosh.
$40 for my shorts.
Oh my gosh.
And that two-piece you pay what, $250 almost, maybe?
Okay. It's more expensive than my wedding dress, Ron.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. And you get a new one each year because you want to change it up. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It doesn't pay. It's a hobby. You're bleeding money. That's it.
Wow.
You're not doing it for the money.
That's so interesting, because I don't think people understand. I think they see the bodies and they see the work and they see the glitz and glam, like you said, the last 10-20%. And they're like, oh, that's amazing. Maybe I can do that. They don't realize the time investment, the conversations that they need to have if they're married, if they have a partner, if they have a spouse, right? And then the financial commitment at the end of the day to be on stage and be prepared for that. So how was that like for you?
It is a lot of, it's a big commitment because you have to look at those things. It's gonna put you in the hole, especially if you're a very pale woman. Ron, you probably don't even need to get tanned. It's like
so it's interesting enough. I do tan. So that's another thing. I know that the tanning on site is $177. I went down to a local tanning salon and spent $42 on the darkest thing they got because I'm a black man. I don't need to get I don't need to get this color, right?
That's super black.
And then I went to CVS and I bought some baby oil gel and I just glazed myself. I popped. That
It's
was
like
it.
going to the beach. It's like
Yeah.
going to the beach for you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. I can get tan at the beach every time. I'm surprised sometimes. I'm like, oh, look at that. Yeah. But I totally get that. That's so interesting.
Yeah,
So
there's a
wow.
lot. You're not just paying for the federation that you're competing in, but also the show that you want to compete in. Then if it's drug tested like ours is, we pay for polygraph testing, and then it's like the training. You got to pay for training, the amount of food that you have to eat. I'm eating a small flock of bird the week.
Yeah. So
It's a lot. It's a
so tell
lot.
us a little bit about that. Like I know what prep is like for me, and I know it could be a little different. So, give us an idea of like as far as prepping food. You don't have to take us through every little thing, but give us an idea. Do you start 16 weeks out? Like how far do you start out when you decide you're gonna go for compete?
I'm probably not the best. I'm not the best person to ask because I'm probably the most painful client to work with because I'm super resistant. I fight it so hard and I'm like, yeah, I'm starting prep, but it's not like a real for real thing. I'm just like, eh.
That's
And like for me, it's like going to the gym is really is a struggle. I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but like there are people who love going to the gym. That's not me. If I don't go to the gym, if I miss a day, I feel like a normal person. I don't feel wrong. I don't feel this or that yet. And I'm working on that relationship. It's been over 8 years that I'm working on my relationship with the gym. So, but yeah, it's a slow process. Like week by week, I will probably be the last person to feel ready before like something just kicks in and I'm like, oh, it's on, like I think when posing classes start and I see other people shifting and their body fat is going down, I'm like, okay, time to buckle down. And yeah, so it is so you asked me about like what the process is like. It's a lot of self-talk. It's a lot of why am I doing this? It's a lot of like looking at your why, like digging deep. Every time I compete, every season I compete, I have to ask myself, what do I want to get out of this time? Like what lesson am I trying to learn this time? Sometimes it's like it's for my business when I do a lot of comparison and I'm like, oh well, this person is doing amazing, this person has all this and all that, of course they're doing well. I'm like, I feel sorry for myself, right? And then I'm like, okay, stop looking at other people and just focus on me. So bodybuilding is such an interesting sport because you're kind of forced into this world where you see everybody in their progress and it's easy to compare yourself. So I purposely put myself in that situation and I was like, okay, I'm just going to be around other people who are where I want to be, and I'm going to use it as inspiration until I start comparing myself to other people. Then I will shut it off. But it's also like, how can you be around other people who look amazing? And how do you still feel good about yourself and not compare? Because as you know, like comparison is the thief of all joy. I don't want that. I want to be comfortable in my own skin. I want to be happy for other people because I understand what their sacrifice is like. So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question. I don't know how to answer that question.
Oh, you did great. You did great.
yeah, I honestly want to acknowledge your not just your maturity, but your understanding and self-reflection skills because you're looking at, and I really want to transition into your business, which I think is a great segue because you talked about comparison of how you overcame comparison, how you're working to overcome comparison. And that the gym isn't your favorite friend, but you figure out how to change your mindset and work on your mindset so that you can get there and you've won 3 times, right? So I love the reality that like human to human, real to being 100% real. And please write in the comments if you're enjoying this conversation and you're like, yeah, I hate the gym too, but I go because I know I have to, whether my doctors told me to or because I know it's important. But my relationship with the gym is struggle too. it's good, it's perfect, that's okay, that it's a struggle, and you're overcoming that struggle every time you get back in, every time you're on stage again, every time you fight that comparison or wondering. But you mentioned that you did that with your business, so could you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you connect with your community in your business?
Okay, awesome. So I could be a full-time Isogenics representative. I use it in my life. And to be honest, I've been really shy about it because there's a lot of objection, there's a lot of negativity around network marketing in general. And it's when I'm listening to the naysayers that I'm just like, oh, okay, maybe it's just for me, kind of thing. But what happens is I'm not remembering the people whose lives it has changed. I'm not, when I go back to how I came across this company and what it has done for me, if Isogenics never came into my life, who knows? I probably, oh my gosh, I feel like I would be so miserable because it's the community of Isogenics that leads to personal development, personal growth, and it's the stories that you see on stage when you go to conferences. It's like people who are living amazing lives, people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and even 90s who are vibrant now. And coming from the healthcare industry, it was day in and day out, it was like, oh my gosh, whatever you do, don't get old. Or like, oh, this ailment here, it's just my age. It's just, that it's just the way it is. All day long. And I'm like, no, this is the wrong.
You're not going to get old.
Yeah. And it was like that messaging that I heard, it was like, don't get old. It's the worst thing in the world. It's like, it's all downhill from here. I'm like, how can people live like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you go into the Isogenics world and people are like in their 60s and they're running marathons for the first time. And I'm like, dang. And it's just like this guy, 70 years old, he was like on his deathbed and he was on home oxygen and looking so frail. And then now he's doing CrossFit and he's going to do his first bodybuilding competition. I'm like, at 70, come on.
That's amazing.
That's what I want to see. Like, I want to be inspired. Getting older, I want to be inspired. I want to look forward to it. I don't want to be afraid of it, right?
Yeah.
Was that even? Yeah. So when I look at my business, like part of my business is like, what really attracts me to my business is the fact that we can help people with their physical health and their financial health. There has been no job in my past where I could help people with their financial health. To me, that's super important. Like, finances were always taboo. You don't talk about it. And like, I would always feel bad saying that I'm a physician assistant because I'm comfortable. Like it was a good paying job. I've since retired from it. I don't know if like in 2019 I walked away from my from my six-figure job. Yeah.
That's an amazing, because you believed in this company.
Right. Because I believe there were so many things, because like I wanted to be my own boss. I didn't want someone to tell me when I could go to the bathroom, when I could what I could wear to work, and when I can take vacation. I'm like, if I want to take vacation, I want to take vacation. I don't need to, like, I don't want to feel bad about it.
Yeah,
And when my kids, and when my kids were sick, do you know how there was so much guilt? Like going home to take care of my kids, I was like almost mad at my kids for being sick because I was letting my bosses down. And I'm like, how is that quality of life? Like, I get it. There's a time and place for Western medicine, and it's amazing for what it does. Like the immediate things. Like I was in orthopedic surgery, so like if there's a fracture, you need that. You need them. But like for the foundational stuff, it's like people would come in with an elbow issue and I look at them, they have a cane with them. They're like, they're overweight, like their skin, their hair is very brittle, that they don't take care of themselves. They're not putting in good nutrition. They're not moving on a regular basis. I'm like, honey, your elbow is the least of your worries, and I'm not allowed to talk to you about your foundational health. So I was like, I can't do this anymore. There was a time where like putting on the white coat like made me want to throw up.
I want to touch base on the last comment you said. All of it resonates, and I hope it lands for those. If you've ever felt like you've gone to the hospital, this is for you, the audience, and you wonder like what to ask, and did you get all the information, and did the doctor or the physician ask you all the questions for your foundational health? Write that in the comments, because you mentioned that you couldn't ask them about their foundational health.
I can't talk to them about it. It's not in, we're only here for orthopedic surgery, orthopedic based issues. It's not about preventative health. It's not about let's talk about your macros. It's not that. It's not like, yes, we can say stop smoking. If you keep breaking your bones, like you got to stop smoking, but that's as far as we can go. We can't go into like, let's talk about smoking cessation. Let's talk about a game plan.
And why can't you? I mean, for the general public, why can't physicians go there and talk about someone's nutrition and ask them questions about what they're doing and getting deeper into the weeds of their day-to-day?
That's a great question, because when I'm subspecialized, I wasn't even just orthopedics, I was upper extremity orthopedics. So if it's a knee issue, I can't see you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that specialized, and the billing, like it's a whole world of billing and insurance that just kind of dictates who you see, how much time you spend with them. So that's like another.
It's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother episode. But take that in. So we've taken medicine where a doctor would come to the house, know your whole family. Hey, how's the kids? Let me check on Johnny over here. All right. And it's a family thing. You want to have dinner with us, doc? Sure. Let's eat dinner and break bread. All right. See you later. That used to be the doctor, right? Probably came with milk or whatever, and like from a cow, right? Like seriously, like, like the 6-pack of milk, right? Hey, got the milk for the kids. Make sure you do your vitamin D. And now it's like, oh, my wrist hurts. Go to the wrist doctor specifically.
Yeah.
But also my shoulder hurts. Well, then you have to have another appointment for a second opinion and an MRI, and then maybe we can see you if you have your X-ray. And then 6 months later, you're finding out that, you know what I mean? It's insane.
It is.
And then the billing, and then the insurance, and then the cycle and the looping in the system is taking the human out of healthcare.
Yeah.
And so I totally understand when you say a comment as powerful as like putting on the health professional jacket and garment and clothing and going into the office made you physically ill.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be helping people, and you're supposed to be okay and clear, and you're having this struggle. My goodness. I totally understand why it didn't matter how much money you were making.
Yeah.
And now you're helping people really understand like what they can do and how they can change, and how they can get not just healthy mentally, emotionally, physically, but financially.
Yes.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So powerful.
What would you say you love most about the health and wellness and fitness industry as a whole? Like what would you say you love the most about it?
I think it's what do I love most about it? I would say, well, my parents have always said, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So it's everything. Health is everything.
Yeah, I feel that. I resonate with that, because it doesn't matter, like I said, how much money you have in the world. If you don't have your health, you're not going on that cruise. You're not going on that plane. Sorry, you're not healthy enough, So I would like to ask an opposing question, because I like to play devil's advocate. What is the worst thing about the wellness industry that just pisses you off, that grinds your gears?
I like that question, Cliff. That's actually a good one.
Cliff.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
You go in there. All right, so.
She got her pinky out. She got her fingers ready. She about to do this on you.
Well, listen, it's real because there are some
Yeah.
things, man. There are
So
some things.
yeah, so some things it's like I get it. It's super overwhelming. There's so much noise out there. It's like the average person doesn't know who to believe, right? And then once they've tried a bunch of things, they're done. They're like their doors are closed. And that's unfortunate, right? So that's a struggle that I have to deal with. And it's the the education around how we stand out, how we're different, how we're not just a shake company, how it's like it's actual food, people. It's not like a once in a while, like, oh, I'll do it on the weekends when I work out. I'm like, no, you do it every day.
Yeah.
Healthy people do healthy things every day. I mean, that's it. So what are the other things? I think it's those are the big things. Those are the biggest struggles, and it's just like the it's just the noise. It's the copycats. It's the people who are out there for a buck and not really caring about the end user. So I have a problem with that, but you're gonna have that in every single industry. So it's nothing different.
Yeah, I agree. I think the marketing, the miscommunication is a huge problem. And I think, wellness marketing has been a problem for generations when they had, the slim guys with the cigarette or the girls that don't look like every other woman.
Yep.
And like it was always the one category, one body type, one particular image, right? That was healthy and everybody else was like, well, good luck to you.
Yeah.
And then there was billions of different ways to lose weight fast and like magic pill it. And I think instant gratification also ruined people's concept of like, listen, it didn't take you 5 months to put on that weight. It's not going to take you 5 months to take it off. And
Right.
like you said, healthy people are consistent. It's not perfection.
No.
There's days and weeks where I'm like, whew,
Yeah.
I'm definitely roller coastering, right? But then you find a way to stay consistent. And I'm really discipline is self-love.
Mm.
I learned discipline in many different ways. I have a Jamaican Antiguan parent, so two immigrant parents as well. And they view discipline very different than I now view discipline. And I recognize discipline is self-love. So
Mm.
I think that's fantastic. And I agree with you about the struggles that we have in the industry. Ron, what do you like and what do you don't like about the industry?
I would have to agree with Winnie as far as the things I don't like. One thing I don't like is people being gimmicky. Being like, you can use this jazzercise machine and you could put on lean muscle and this make you great. And so I mean, I just don't like gimmicky people. I like people that are real. And there's so much noise with the internet. With social media, you don't know what to believe, especially if you're not a fitness expert. And what I do enjoy is, well, one thing I do enjoy is I have a full facility in my house, so I don't have to go anywhere. Like I have a raised ranch, floor to floor rubber, the floor is rubberized, thousands of dollars worth of equipment, and I just go and I just enjoy having that access. I could honestly say I'm selfish when it comes to the gym. When I was in when I was in Mexico, training like a madman on vacation, like drinking water while everyone's having cake and all this stuff. Um, one thing I honestly realized I didn't like sharing equipment. It was like I was looking for the 50s and someone had them, and I was like, oh my god, like they're the only set, and I gotta wait for you. Like I can't stand it. And then I was like, I don't want to wait because I'm on a time frame because I'm on vacation. We gotta be somewhere. So now I gotta I gotta take whatever I can get. So yeah. But Wendy, just one more question for me. Where do you see yourself moving forward in the future? Um
Mm.
in fitness.
Ooh, in fitness, so that's still a work in progress, but yesterday, or maybe it was Wednesday, this thought came into my mind. Being a maybe I am a coach for bodybuilders on their mental game.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome.
I think I like that.
All right. So I guess we're gonna have to end right now because So I want y'all to stay awesome, keep stepping to greatness, and be legendary. Wendy, appreciate you. Thanks for being on the show, Mobility Bros.
Thank you
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Thank you.